Good morning. Welcome to our session on Agentic AI. This is not only a trending topic, but it's actually changing and transforming how we think about hotel distribution and travel tech overall. My name is Mirja Sickel. I'm heading hotel distribution at Amadeus, and I'm super excited to talk not on my own, but with other people who are getting on stage about this interesting topic. So actually what we see right now is an unprecedented excitement about AI. AI is not new. Actually, it's there for quite some years. But why is it that we see so much hype and excitement? It's actually what is new on this new wave is that it's becoming accessible. This technology, it's getting cheaper and cheaper, and we actually all have access to it today. We all use ChatGPT, Perplexity, Gemini. We all have this at our fingertips. And many applications we interact with, actually we don't know that AI is behind. So this technology gets democratized. But let's be honest, who is still keeping up? Because to be on top of the jargon of AI, it's probably a full-day job. Who still knows what is the latest LLM, the best ones? Or who knows SLM, small language models? If you've not heard about them, probably start thinking and getting yourself educated. MCP, the new supposed standard for the interaction between the agents, or different protocols for agent-to-agent communication. So it's pretty fast, right? But in Amadeus, we have actually worked with AI since 2010. And we take a very careful, very thoughtful, safety-first approach to AI. We have implemented AI in many of our applications. You see this already live. But we always take the step, and we have taken a deliberate journey in order to bring innovation through AI to the travel experience, but always respecting privacy, security, transparency, and fairness, which are fundamental elements when you start talking about AI. One other very important element for us are partnerships, because this is an ecosystem, and if we don't leverage partnerships, it's very difficult to be on top of the innovation wave and embracing AI. One of our key partnerships is with Microsoft, and we have launched into the market key innovations such as Citric Easy or Amadeus Advisor, which can already be used. For instance, Citric Easy is an integration of our own corporate booking tool into Teams, so that a business traveler can directly in Teams perform a hotel booking guided through a chat. Or Amadeus Advisor, which is an analytical chatbot and helping the users of our BI solutions to understand the big data sets, to bring the analysis forward and help the user with recommendation what could be adjusted. For instance, a revenue manager, what should I adjust in terms of pricing or distribution strategies? But we are not here to talk about AI. We are here to talk about the next big leap, Agentic AI. So this is not only automation, this is about agents being able to analyze, to understand, to define patterns, and to act, and to autonomously collaborate between different systems. So this brings me to the heart of this session, actually, because we want to deep dive in understanding how Agentic AI can transform hotel distribution. How can Agentic AI help us to make this more simple, smarter, and more transparent and personalized? And to kick this off, I'm going to ask Shainock from Microsoft to join the stage to help us to understand how Agentic AI works today already in practice, in real world, and take an example, a real world example where we believe Agentic AI, and in the collaboration of all of us, we can bring innovation and smoother personalized offerings to the traveler, the guest, and help our US hoteliers. So Julie, the stage is yours.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone, and thank you. A big thank you to Hedna and Amadeus. My name tag actually says I'm a first-timer to Hedna, so I appreciate the opportunity to talk to you today. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about Agentic AI, but this also builds on a white paper that Microsoft and Amadeus released in June that was around generative AI and agentic agents. And this really talks about unlocking productivity, automation, and intelligence in travel, hospitality, and aviation. So I'm going to take you through some of the technology. We've got a use case, a vision, a joint vision that we have together. And then we'll just talk about the various components and how this really fits into our industry. I also believe we're really at an inflection point within the industry itself, travel, hospitality, and automation. So, the time to act is now, and we really do have the capabilities to deliver in this environment today. So why is travel really ready for AI agents? And the reason is we've got a vast amount of data. It's unstructured, it could be siloed data out there. We have a big need for personalization. And then very similar to other industries that also have consumer-based approaches like e-commerce, finance. This is another reason that agentic AI is very applicable to the travel, hospitality, and aviation industries. So what are, agents? Agents are intelligent software components. Think of them as intelligent software components. They can be designed for, very simple tasks, such as, a manual repeatable task. We can move into, complex workflows as well. And then they also can be very tailored. So let's see, Holland America built Anna. And Anna is, designed to do a complex task, within the cruise industry itself. It's actually booking a cruise. So these are the examples that we actually have out and in practice today. So we took a problem between Amadeus and Microsoft. We came up with a very interesting problem, and it's really around disruption management. And it also involves, the hotels and how do we handle all this in a seamless kind of fashion. So when you look at this chart that I'm showing up here today, the problem is pretty large at a global level. It's a very large problem. And so this is what we're going to explore a little bit more. And, we've all been through it. We all, get to the airport. We may have, weather, crew, mechanical kind of disruption, and then you're standing there for hours. So what we try to envision is how can we simplify this for the passenger, the guest, and what it would look like in a real life scenario. Okay, so this should work.
Traveling can be stressful, especially when planned changes are out of your control. When our customer's flight is canceled, stress could have taken over, but help was already on the way. Behind the scenes, the latest technology and AI agents collaborate seamlessly, automatically searching for the best possible flight and hotel alternatives to suit our customers' needs. Sometimes, an overnight hotel stay is the only option, so the Amadeus Hotel Search Agent proactively finds nearby options. Hotels gain real-time visibility into guest arrivals, so guests experience a smooth, comfortable stay no matter the situation. All travelers have unique needs, and standard hotel options don't always fit. That's where Amadeus's AI agents come in, finding a solution for every situation. Time-consuming check-in, even for non-loyalty members, is in the past. Our AI agents act as your digital companion to make sure you feel supported every step of the way. Even for our business travelers, flight disruptions can happen. What matters most is that the experience integrates seamlessly into business workflows. While finding a convenient hotel option, we provide a tailored solution that fits our customers' needs. AI that delivers peace of mind, not complexity.
So we've taken this scenario and we've laid it out. So we look at what are some of the challenges that we have today with traditional systems. We know they're pretty inflexible. They don't react very quickly to change. They have limited personalization capabilities. And it's very time-consuming to do this in today's world. So we're jumping to, what are some of the advantages that we see with Agentic AI, and really the natural language aspect of things. Being able, as a passenger or guest, being able to interact with a system in natural language is, really one of the key things that you're trying to do. It's very easy to understand what's the core problem with natural language. Just anything to the edge. So think about, the edge could be the mobile phone. And then, the agents are there 24/7. They're ready to go, and they can do different tasks as well. And then the autonomous piece of this as well. So you can interject the autonomous agents, pretty quickly. So then, what is this? Who all is involved, and how can we streamline this environment? So you've got the airline operations team when a disruption occurs. You've got the traveler itself. And then you've also got the hotel involved, because you're going to have to figure out, if they're going to have to get a hotel, how are you going to arrange the hotel and do all this in a seamless fashion? I think some of the benefits, if you look at the benefits line, it's really, you're gaining visibility into all the impacted passengers at this point. Some of these, you can actually build loyalty with some of these customers as well. So this is and that's what you really want to do. How do you want to take this passenger and have them return? So you're providing the airline is providing a service connected with the hotel to really have a passenger or guest go back to your hotel. They're going this time, they're going to have a great experience, and they'll go back and be loyalty as well. And then just some of the solutions that we talk about as well. So from Amadeus, the optimized passenger recovery, the recovery care center, and hotel quick connect. And then Microsoft, we have AI Foundry that can talk across different data sets and tools, and even clouds if necessary. So there's a lot of different components here. And then, the CRS as well, ACRS, as well as, PMS. And then, so this is just the natural language example. So you've got two passengers, a husband and wife, and they want to stay in the same hotel, and they have different reservations, and they've got a pet with them as well. So you're able to quickly resolve this, identify, who the two PNRs are, merge that together, and then also you already know that the hotel will accept a pet. And then this just is a diagram of, the orchestration diagram. So what you want to look at here is you've got the orchestration diagram, and this enables you to interact with multiple agents, tools, and data as well. The orchestrator is going to remain the same no matter what you're doing. But in this environment, we're going to interact with one agent as opposed to all the different multiple agents out there. We also integrate with third-party providers. So it could be Amadeus and or other providers as well. So that's the flexibility of this environment. And then let's see. Lastly, we are going to make sure that we're using, as Mirja mentioned as well, the MCP protocol, so the Model Complex Protocol. And this allows us to have agents talk to agents, agents to talk to tools, agents to talk to data. So this provides the interaction and standardizes all this interaction going forward. So I tried to quickly give you just an example and the different capabilities around Agentic that we're seeing in the marketplace, and how we're utilizing it at Microsoft with Amadeus around travel, hospitality, and aviation. Okay, so just a call to action here. So we're going to have an additional discussion, but we do want to make sure that we're going to have a panel discussion that Mirja's going to lead, and then we want to explore other potential cases with some of you in the room as well, and then we want to do a proof of concept as well in H1 of FY26. So we're looking to do some of that with some of the hospitality companies as well as some of the aviation companies going forward. So a great opportunity to engage with Amadeus and Microsoft. So I'm going to turn it over for the panel now. and I'll just go somewhere else. Thank you.
So Agentic AI is there, so thank you very much, Julie, for showing what is possible and what we could be doing immediately. So hopefully we got you enthusiastic about that as well. But we thought this is not enough. This is only one example. But we thought it's only two women here. We thought we bring some gentlemen as well here on the stage. So we have Jean Carapella from Amadeus and Gianni de Fede from Radisson, Global SVP Commercial, joining us. And we thought we are going to explore a little bit more, no? Not to be one-sided and say, okay, this is the only way and this is the only thing what is happening. There are so many things happening. No? As I said, it's very difficult to stay on top of all the innovations which are coming. So I'm super grateful that we have great additional panelists here, and we are going to deep dive a little bit more what you are doing on your side and bringing good innovations based on Agentic AI. So probably let's start with everybody, and we start with Gianni, to quickly introduce yourself and say why you are enthusiastic about AI.
Okay. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm fascinated by AI in general, as it gives the opportunity to rethink the way we actually approach the business, both in the way we look for incremental revenues, but also in the way we try to make efficiencies, and ultimately the way that we approach our guests. And I believe that hospitality in general is the right environment, as we mix human beings with technologies and services, so AI can actually scale the efficiency and the decision making to the utmost. At Radisson, I oversee all the global commercial disciplines, going from revenue management to distribution, sales, to M&E, e-commerce, and business intelligence. So here, as part of my responsibility, since a couple of years, we are trying to integrate AI in everything we do, and also to try to be pioneers in how we lead it, in the coming years. As you said, AI was just a nice, let's say, topic to fill meetings in the past. Well, now it becomes real, and it's our responsibility to take it to the next level. All the disciplines that I've mentioned are actually perfect, for AI. You can apply it into pricing, into inventory management, into distribution, into qualifying the leads on the M&E front, into the telesales, into the contact center. So it's the right weapon today, not to replace, but to complement activities that eventually we couldn't do at scale, or that human beings actually don't want to do any longer. So yes, it's exciting, the journey, and we have the responsibility to make it work.
So as part of my job, Gen AI is a key part of it. I'm the sponsor of Gen AI at Amadeus Hospitality. But personally, it really interests me, and I'm really excited about it. I'm a technologist at heart and a software developer by vocation, but I really look at it as a sea change. I've been in travel and technology for 25 years now, and when I started in the industry, it would be surprising that you could do something on your phone. And now I remember early in my career when we first did our first online booking tool on a phone, and it was terrible. But now it'd be shocking that you couldn't do almost anything or everything on your phone. And I see that as having become, part of the fabric of what we do every day. And I see AI as another, addition to that fabric. And now it's new, now it's hard to keep up with, now it's novel, but in a few years' time, I see it as part of everything we do, and therefore we have to incorporate it, we have to understand it, we have to make it part of our lives like we have our phones and the internet and everything else. So it's really something that will become ingrained and really be a sea change, like those other technologies.
It's part of my responsibility at Microsoft. I'm the global leader for travel, transport, and logistics, and our focus is right now our focus is pretty much almost all on agentic AI. We look at 4 different pillars from that aspect. The first would be, employee productivity. So the frontline worker, 10% of the global workforce are travel and transportation workers. The second would be around customer experience. How can we really deliver, and I know we can do it now, true hyper-personalization and context. The third would be around the operational area and really operational efficiency, productivity improvements, and then the last would be around innovation. So those are some of my responsibilities, but we are talking to every single customer in our industry here about agentic AI and how we can help them deliver more. And I also, as you look at the third, so I would look at this as like a third industrial revolution. I don't look at, all the jobs that are being given up. I look at, what jobs will be created with AI as well. So I'm really not looking at half empty. I'm looking at it half full.
Great perspective. Thanks. I notice a lot of excitement from all 3 of you, so it's great to discuss this with you. But we are here at HEDNA at a hotel distribution conference. So why do you think hotel distribution is actually the right area to apply AI, agentic AI? Probably, Gianni, we can start with you again.
Well, distribution is a big world. It covers all the disciplines as we need to approach the guest across all the possible channels and moments, in the booking path. But distribution, and agentic AI, why? In reality, we know that distribution has become very complex in the past years, and I believe, the agentic AI is helping today to solve those issues. And I'll give concrete examples, but let's start, with the issues, that I believe everyone in this room is facing. One is the fragmentation, that makes, I don't want to say impossible, but makes it very difficult to deliver consistent content and rate integrity nowadays. So it's really, really difficult. You can focus as much as you want, but you will always, then fail eventually in one of the interactions. And then, you have to combine this, with the rising cost of distribution. So keeping the cost of acquisition to hoteliers, it has become always, more and more complex. Linked to what customers, today are actually asking for. So number one is personalization to hyper personalization nowadays, and then also keep the engagement always very high. So I believe in these 4 elements, agentic AI can play a role. And I'll give some example, not to just be so generic, on elements, that eventually we at Radisson are actually already doing or about to do. And one of them, there is going to go live at the end of this year already, so it's a matter of a couple of months now, is going to help us in a way retiring one of the policies, that have been with us in the past 20 years, and I'm talking about the famous, best rate guarantee policy. So that you as a customer, you find a lower price, you then have to fill a form, send it, someone is going to receive it, and then eventually after 2 days reply to you and discount the rate. So this is going to be retired by Radisson, and it's going to be replaced by an agentic AI product. There is called internally a price match. So we will emulate in real time all the possible searches, so across all devices, moments, of the day, geographies, and so forth. So in real time, I make a search as a customer. There is an agent behind that makes the same, goes across all the channels, finds eventually a lower price. So we wish not, but in the eventuality, this is going to be there. Then under guided rules is going to, in real time, cut the price and make sure that the conversion happens on RadissonHotels.com, so without any further interaction. And like this, many others, but just to say, something like that, was almost impossible a few years back. Well, now it's really concrete. And to just give other example without going into details, this is applied to pricing This is applied to alerts. This is applied to comments and so forth. Everything that helps in the distribution journey, hoteliers, to then make again efficiency and gain more money, which is also important. At the end of the day, we all have to deliver a BDA, so we all look for incremental direct bookings and also to make those bookings more efficient than in the past.
Very good. Thanks for sharing, Gianni. Sean, what do you think how Agentic AI can improve hotel distribution overall?
I think, to echo really what Gianni said, there's different aspects to it. One part really is the productivity. How can we take tasks that our human beings have to do today that are, let's say, not terribly creative, and free them up to do more interesting things, more productive things? And there's examples in your price match, there's examples in looking at data in terms of analyzing information, there's rationalizing lots of unstructured information and information from lots of sources. But there's also, on the customer side, there's really meeting them where they are. Distribution, as you say, is a big word, and it's many different channels and comes from many different locations. And Agentic AI and the rise of AI assistants gives us both more ways to talk to customers and better ways to talk to customers, because it's very impersonal today how we distribute and how we try to get information and rates and hotel rooms in front of people, in front of customers, in front of guests. And Agentic AI gives us the opportunity to have, let's say, a better touch, a more personalized touch, a better journey for that customer, which can drive more loyalty, can drive better customer experience, can drive getting more information from them so that you can offer them more and differentiated offers in the future.
Great. You already gave a good hint, personalization or impersonal. And I know this is a key topic for Julie. You like to talk about personalization. So why do you think we now have an opportunity with Agentic AI to really get there and provide personalized offers per hotel guest?
I think that we are really at the cutting edge of being able to understand context, which we had never been able to do before. And I think it's one of the key things in order to unlock the personalization. I go into a hotel, I check in, and then I'm digitally ignored while I'm there. So this is one of those things where it has to change. We've got different technology. I don't know if anyone's familiar with, we bought a company called PlayFab, it was like 3 or 4 years ago, and it's all around gaming. So the gaming technology, and if you study it, it's all based on consumers as well. So we're taking that technology and moving it into travel, as an example, and hospitality is where it really fits. And so what we can do in that environment is create that sticky emotional interaction with a guest. And this is where you really create that, hyper-personalization. Maybe there's an event that's taking place in the bar, and it's all around, different whiskey tastings. Or maybe there's a wedding taking place, and you interact with all the different guests and those kinds of things. So there's a lot of different capabilities that you can engage with today that will really encourage this whole personalization and the context. They should know that I'm on business here, but in 3 weeks I'm going to Rome, and my first part of my trip is a personal visit with my husband. Not just because his trip is tied to my P&R, but it's got to be throughout the journey and across every touch point of the journey. So that's what I'm looking forward to, and we really are there with the agentic space and being able to also share data in a multi-party data ecosystem, which we all are a part of today. So that's why I'm excited.
Very good. Gianni, anything from your perspective regarding agentic AI and personalization and the opportunities we get now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's for all hoteliers. I would say it's not a buzzword any longer. It's at the center of all we do nowadays. And again, I want to relate it, with concrete examples. So the audience, can see how at Radisson at least, we try to combine, the two. So the experience on one side and the AI and the agentic AI on the other. We are looking into with Google, together with Google, to make sure that when there is a search, so imagine someone typing on Google or on RadissonHotels.com, I want a beach destination in December, that we don't just give a list of properties, but we go one step beyond with Agentic AI, and depending on the search and depending on what we know about the customer and the past searches, that we actually customize in real time, not just the price, which is something that eventually we do already, but customize also the offering. So even the name of the room type will completely change and will be completely adapted by Agentic AI. So that if I look for a nice view, my room will be called room with a view. Okay, it's not going to be the superior with whatever, it's going to be straight away adapted so that we can convert the search into a booking. Then again, we even looked into other elements, that eventually we don't believe, they're going to be shaping our, industry in the next 12 months. You can take it to the extreme. We've been presented also stuff where, you put cameras in the glasses of the receptionist. So no, this eventually will come in 3-4 years. But there are more tangible elements that can impact concretely the guest experience. And of course, those can become immediate and accessible to all of us.
Yeah, very interesting. You touched a little bit on something I wanted to cover as well, which is a bit the impact of Agentic AI on the blurring lines between media, advertising, and distribution. You talk about the search funnel and the impact these might have right now. So what is your take, Sean, on that? So what will be the future there on media, advertising, distribution? Will it radically change? Is it an evolution? What's your take?
Certainly we have a change. I mean, once upon a time it was travel agents that were the gatekeepers, and then we had online travel agents, and then a lot moved to search. And that's how people are really, one of the many ways people are finding. So search and the advertising around it. But how people interact with search and the channels they interact with the rise of AI assistance is changing. No longer are you just looking for a hotel in Lisbon. You're looking for a hotel with a rooftop bar, with a view of the harbor in Lisbon or wherever, and we start to extract a lot more information from travelers and guests as they're looking for hotels. And so first it'll change, today we try to do search engine optimization. We really have to optimize and provide that content for LLM optimization or Gen AI optimization so that they can more easily find the right hotel and find your hotel amongst many others. We need to also look at advertising, and advertising will change in the same way. Instead of keywords, I really think it'll be on nuance and really intuiting what people are looking for and what categories they're looking for rather than just a few different keywords. And that will also really change around meta and how we distribute. And it will not just change in the channels we know today, because the channels we know today are evolving, they're adding Gen AI, but there are new channels, there are new players that we partner with, and they may have different business models. But overall, it means we have to think about how do we provide more information about our hotels and about the types of things people are looking for. How do we extract then from what people are looking for their intent, and how do we then adapt it to personalize to try to improve the conversion? And so you see an evolution in every piece of it, and I really see them being more and more tied together and inextricably linked because of this.
It's a really massive evolution there. These will change drastically. Good. There's one last part. Gianni, do you want to add something on that? No.
No, I wanted, if you don't mind, yes, I wanted to mention also in this regard, that the challenge, we're now all busy with is to indeed move from SEO to GEO. So to be relevant across all these new channels, which is not simple, because content has to be AI readable and needs to be refined fully. But this is going to be the new frontier, for hoteliers in the coming 12 months. So you're totally right. Content is paramount, and it's where eventually you on distribution side, we from the hotel side of it, we have to be together to be able to influence and eventually help the shift.
Very good points, very important. So I wanted to cover one last element, which is probably a little bit less sexy than personalization and all the good things we can do, which is more about security, data, privacy. And I wanted to hear from you, what are the main considerations one need to take into account when embarking into the Agentic AI journey, and what do you need to consider regarding data, security, privacy?
Well, you mentioned it, when you opened the session today. So there are elements, that you need to deal with, you like it or not. One is the governance. So your data have to be clean, cross-referenced, structured, so that AI can read it and use it. You may have all the nicest ideas in the planet, but if data are not there to support you, you will not be able to implement AI. So first of all, you need to relook into how you do the basics in your property, in your organization. The second element is the data compliance, which is extremely difficult and is getting always more difficult, but you need to be always aligned to the latest, GDPR regulations and so forth. So this is essential. And of course, you need to try to build, in the end, the trust. And I like to reference this, with revenue management. So in the past, we used to say that it couldn't be successful if you don't educate customers. So if you start doing reverse yielding, for instance, then you confuse the customer, so you'll never be successful. In AI, in general, it's the same equation. If we don't build the trust and the transparency, AI will never be successful, at least to bring the efficiency to the level that we all wish.
Right. Sean, do you have a...
Yeah, you're spot on. And I think the other thing to think about is how you use AI as an organization. And I have a guiding principle, because you have compliance, you have things you must do, you have data you must do, but it's something we take seriously and have an AI code of conduct and have for a number of years, to think about what is the way we use AI and what is the way that we use that in a way that we think is transparent and we think is productive, and we think will be a moral way to use that. And that then guides how we use it and helps us really navigate that complex landscape.
From the Microsoft perspective, anything to add?
Of course. So from my perspective as well, and in Microsoft, we believe that, I'm going to look at it from the digital wallet, digital verification aspect of things, and I know there's a session on this afterwards as well. But we believe that you are going to own your data. As a consumer, I'm going to own my data, and I'm going to opt in. So when I, home to curb, I walk into the airport, I'm going to opt in. My agent's going to talk to the airport agent. Same would be true in the hotel. I'm going to walk into the hotel. My agent's going to talk to the hotel agent and get me checked in. We believe in that, in sharing of the information that needs to be shared, and opting in with that information itself. So it's really, and then the other piece of all this is security is a fundamental tenet. Every product in Microsoft that's built has security built into it. So it is a fundamental aspect of how we do business in order to build trust in the marketplace. So that's how we're viewing it today, and we feel like it's an extremely important part as you embark into this new era of agentic AI. And you talked about frontier. So one of the aspects of Microsoft right now is becoming a frontier firm. And so this is exactly as you described, doing things in a different way. You're not going to do things the way you used to do things. You're going to do things in a very different way going forward. And that's how you're going to become that frontier firm and really take advantage of agentic AI.
So thank you very much. I truly enjoyed the discussion with you three experts in agentic AI. I hope we could share some new use cases and some elements. You learned something about agentic AI. I think it's by now clear It's here. It's changing how we are doing business today. So we better embrace it, and there are opportunities how we can do distributing hotel content much better altogether. So thank you very much. Thank you to the panelists, and we are here.
Thank you.
Thank you.